Welcome to the channel. In this video, I will show you how to use the queue feature. Queues can be used to limit and prioritize traffic, as well as to control speed. Queue in Mikrotik is a function that allows you to control the data transmission speed, bandwidth, for specific users or groups of users in the network. It is used to regulate traffic in the network, providing equal access to network resources and preventing network overload. Overall, Queue in Mikrotik is a powerful tool for traffic management in the network, allowing network administrators to control and optimize its effective use. Before we proceed to the settings, it is worth noting that Queue does not work when Fast Track is active. So let's go to the firewall and disable Fast Track connections. Let's move on to the settings. Go to the Queue section. Go to the Simple Queue tab. Click on the plus sign, and in the General tab, we can create a rule. In the name field, we can enter the username whose speed is limited. If there are multiple users, it's better to specify a clear name to understand who is who. In the target field, we can specify, for example, our entire local network 192.168.88.0./24, if for some reason we want to limit the speed for the entire network, or several networks by clicking the arrow down. You can also choose the created interface, for example, a bridge. In this case, in the destination field, you need to either enter all zeros, or choose the interface to which your provider is connected. This is recommended for the rule to work correctly. The next step is to set the limitation. In the target download field, we specify the maximum download speed from the internet network, and in the target upload field, we specify the maximum upload speed to the internet network. The letter M stands for megabits. Click apply, and as we can see, we have created a rule. We can check if our rule works. The icon next to the user also indicates that the rule is working. Depending on the load, it becomes yellow -50%, and above, or red -75%, and above. You can also see the data transmission speed in real time in the traffic field. If necessary, to limit the speed, we can individually specify the IP address of each client. To limit the speed for a specific client, first, they need to have a static IP address, which is done in IP, DHCP server on the leases tab. Here you need to select the client you want to assign a static address to, double-click on it, and select Make Static, after which you will see that the letter D next to the client has disappeared, which means that this client has a fixed IP address. Also, in addition to limiting the speed for a specific user, we can set priorities for who will be allocated the channel first. This is done on the Advanced tab in the Priority field. If you set the highest priority here, the highest priority is equal to 1. Then in this case, this client will receive the speed specified by us first. Another feature of this function is the ability to set the duration of this rule. This is done in the time section. The time field determines the time period during which this rule will work. The days field specifies the days of the week from Monday to Friday during which the rule will work. During the rest of the unspecified time, from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. on weekdays and all weekends, the rule does not work, the speed is not limited, and the user can use the internet channel without interfering with anyone's work. Also, in the Simple Queues rule on the General tab, in addition to all of the above, there is another tab that drops down, called Burst. Let's consider its purpose. Burst. The burst function in Mikrotik allows temporarily allowing traffic that exceeds the speed limit within a certain volume, burst volume, before starting to limit traffic according to the set limits. Set burst parameters. The values in different situations will be different and depend on the tariff plan and the previously set maximum speed limit. Burst limit, maximum speed when burst mode is enabled. Burst time, the time during which the average speed is calculated. Burst threshold, the value of the average speed that determines whether the burst mode is enabled or disabled. Let's see how it works. First, you set the main speed limit for the queue. For example, you can set the maximum download and upload speed for this queue. After setting the main limit, you can specify the amount of data that can be transmitted at a higher speed, burst. This can be useful in situations where more data needs to be transmitted temporarily than usual. For example, when downloading a large file or performing other intensive activities. When the traffic in the queue starts to exceed the main limit, Mikrotik allows temporarily using burst volume to transmit a larger volume of data while maintaining service quality. This reduces delays and improves performance when necessary. It is important to note that burst volume is not permanent and cannot be used continuously. After using the burst, the data transmission speed will be limited to the main value set in the queue. For more detailed information, you can visit the official Mikrotik website. I will leave the link in the video description. That's all for me. This was IT Oracle. Goodbye everyone.